Alright, in this Roll20 video, we're going to talk about the Compendium and Compendium Sharing. So, I'm logged into two different accounts in two different browsers so that I could show you the difference between the two different accounts. So, right now, this is the GM's account. This is for my Storm King's Thunder campaign. Now, with a pro account, I can share assets with up to 5 different campaigns. So all of the people who are members of those 5 different campaigns can access all of my compendium stuff. So to show you how to do that, when you're at your campaign homepage, you're going to go to your settings. You're going to go to your game settings. Alright, you're going to scroll down to where it says share my compendium with my players. You're going to make sure that you check yes. And you can see that I have 5 slots, and all 5 slots are currently being used. And you can have up to 15 players in a game that you are using Compendium Sharing with. 15 players seems like a lot, but some people do run Westmarch's games off of Roll20, and they have a huge amount of players on one server, or to say one campaign page, project, whatever you want to call it. And they... it does get capped at 15. So, but what does this mean? What does it mean that I'm sharing my compendium? Alright, so what it means is, in the game itself, over here on the... let's zoom in a little bit. Over here on the right-hand side, there is this gray circle with an I in it. The I stands for compendium, obviously. If I click on it, it allows me to search basically all of the rules. The same thing kind of happens on D&D Beyond, right? If you have all the stuff unlocked in D&D Beyond, you can search D&D Beyond, find all the stuff you need. Same thing over here on Roll20. With the power and magic of money, you can expand your compendium to include beyond just the free rules that everybody has access to. So what this means is, I can look up Tiefling, and I will get the standard player's handbook stuff, which you can see, PHP here. I will get the Xanathar's stuff, because I've unlocked that by buying it again. And then over here, you can see the Eberron stuff is covered, Mordenkainen stuff is covered, the Guide to Wildmarsh is covered. So as these things are purchased by the DM, they become available to everyone that they share with. So I could then click on this, for example, and check out the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount entry for Tieflings. Right? So pretty neat. And these are all set up like old school Wikipedia style with cross links. So if I click on reaction, it'll go to another section. Well, this is, of course, the one example I tried to use was not set up correctly, but technically it's supposed to cross-link between all the different resources that you have unlocked. Alright, so that's Compendium. That's Compendium in action. That's Compendium doing its stuff. What do I mean by buying and unlocking this stuff? Alright, so over here in the marketplace, you can buy stuff. That's how the world goes around, you know, it's money. You may have already purchased the book in physical print to support your local game store or whatever. That's cool. That's good for you. You're great. You may have then purchased a digital copy of it from D&D Beyond. Cool, cool. Roll20 is a completely different company, and so you'd have to purchase it again. And the stuff on Roll20 is very expensive, and it very rarely goes on sale. So it's certainly something that I would encourage you to talk to your group about splitting the cost on, and just explain to them that if the GM has access to it, they can use Compendium Sharing to give everyone else access to it. Case in point, you know, Monster Manual, Xanathar's Guide, Volo's Guide, Player's Handbook, all that. When you purchase things like that, it not only adds monsters that the DM can access easily, it doesn't have to build the monsters from scratch over and over again, but it adds the unique spells, classes, races, feats, abilities that come with these books to the Charactermancer, which then players building their characters using Charactermancer will have the ability to access that kind of stuff. So it's useful and it's worthwhile in my opinion, because I do play a lot of D&D through Roll20, but it's something to keep in mind. So to kind of show you a proof of concept, here is my purchases, right? And here is my player account purchases. I've got nothing. All right. You can see this is just my free account. I've got nothing here. But I am a member of the Storm King's Thunder game as my player account. So if I go in here and I search for tieflings again, I get to see all the same things that the DM had available, right? There's Xanathar's Guide, there's Mordenkainen, there's Eberron, there's Wildmount. It's all there, okay? So it's very important as a group that you guys are organized and you take good care of your Dungeon Master, obviously. Make sure the Dungeon Master is the one whose account is buying all the stuff, because that account will share with everybody else. 5 different games, up to 15 players apiece. There's some kind of math going on there. I think that means you could share with like potentially 75 other people. So yeah, you could definitely work something out where everybody contributes to one person getting all the stuff, and then that one person creates a bunch of games and everybody is happy and everybody has access to all the stuff. So just something to think about. The other thing about shared assets and things like that is one person could have the master account, and maybe that person is DMing one campaign and another player is DMing another campaign. That person who made the who's the main account holder, who has all the purchases and all the books, they can create the Roll20 game, and then they could go and promote someone else to be the DM. There you go. So that person can still gain access to all of the purchases via Compendium Sharing, and then get promoted to be the GM and have access to all the things. So, yes, it's expensive to get set up on Roll20. Yes, they charge an arm and a leg for a lot of their stuff, but with Compendium Sharing, again, up to 75 people can benefit from a single person's account purchases. So just stay organized, get organized, and make sure that you have one account that your friend circle, your gaming group, is basically buying everything for, and then kind of from there, have that person create games and promote GMs and all that, and you can have up to 5 games on that one account that are sharing across all of that compendium stuff. Hopefully this explains Compendium Sharing a little bit more, and hopefully you watched this in time and you didn't buy a bunch of stuff for a bunch of different accounts who now can't share with each other. Because again, only the GM account that created the game in the first place and enabled Compendium Sharing is the one that's going to be sharing those compendium purchases out. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below.